and so I got a new board installed for like $40 or whatever. Hang on, we're live. We are live. Welcome to Rise Life, place where you get the sight, sound, smell, taste of my particular Rise Life, where you get the truth. Subscribe, punch the like button like you're punching your wife. No, don't do it that way. Like you're punching your husband. Tap the bell for notifications. Tap the bell for, so long as you're not punching your dog. Tap the bell for notifications so that you don't miss out on one single exciting video. Go to vinzandri.com to get a bunch of books. You can still get them for Christmas, whatever. Go to bensobieck.com. I don't know if that's it, but Google Ben Sobieck and buy some of his books too, because that's who my guest is today, Ben Sobieck. We were just talking construction because there's a lot of construction going on in my apartment, as you guys know. I've been giving you some daily reports and stuff like that, and we were just talking about the difference between plumbing methods and 80 plus years ago and now. And all the cast iron that was in my bathroom has now been replaced by PVC piping. Ben, what are the benefits of PVC piping versus the old cast iron?
Well, well, first, let me say what a treat it is to be on the Vince Sandri Plumbing Hour. It's really.
Oh, thank you very much, then.
No, well, part of the smells of the writer's life is dealing with DIY plumbing, as anybody following along in the channel knows. But your cast iron piping is gonna rust. PVC does not rust, and it resists cracking a lot more. But what I was saying is that these old wax seals on the bottom of the toilets, they can go bad after like 10 years or so, but they're only $2, and they're relatively simple to fix. They just take some time and like a couple of YouTube tutorials. There's only like 5 steps. So if you ever, anybody out there in YouTube land, if you don't feel like paying a plumber $200 to $300 to come out and do a service call because your toilet's leaking out the bottom.
Right, the bottom.
Google it.
As was my
Look it up. Hopefully your subfloor isn't rotten. But if it's not, it's just like especially if it's a basement one that has like cement and stuff, then you're just going to want to lift the whole unit up, and you're going to want to scrape away the old wax and put your new $2 at Home Depot. It's like the cheapest thing you can buy. This is not sponsored by Home Depot, but it's like the cheapest wax ring you can buy. Get that replaced, put it back on. It's relatively simple. It just takes time. I did it myself. I don't know, it was like 6 weeks ago or something like that. But
all right, so like $2 for a new wax ring, new wax seal. Oh, so that's like, if it lasts 10 years, even that's like 0.0000 cents like per dump, right?
Well, I suppose it depends on how hard you use the device. Yes, I mean it becomes more efficient, and the more that you use it,
right.
But there are other.
So you gotta factor in the size of the family.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like one ring times the average dump underscore the size of the average family, the height and weight, because some people eat more than others. So you gotta factor in the amount of food that's consumed on the average day, how many meals, you could big science to this.
Place the damn thing and move on with your life instead of like trying to going around with the pen and paper, taking people's measurements and monitoring their food intake.
Oh, I don't know, honey. You weigh 400 pounds. Like I think we're gonna need like the double heavy duty plastic seal just to keep your dumpers flowing the way they should.
That was a nice attempt sounding like a Minnesotan.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm keeping that Sierra.
What's in?
Remember from Fargo?
Oh yeah.
Where the dude gets shot.
Yep.
He's like, I'm keeping that fucking Sierra.
Well, Fargo is in North Dakota, though. I mean, this is like the great piece of Minnesota trivia that I'm obliged to remind everybody that Fargo is not actually in Minnesota. It is
No.
on the other side of the Red River from Moorhead, and Moorhead is in Minnesota. So your today's geography factoid is that they're basically the same city, separated by one river that floods all the time. But Fargo is not in Minnesota.
Right.
Just
Fargo's in the Dakotas.
it is, and they should have put that factoid on our new state flag. That is being done, but that did not make it in. Although the design is much better than what we had before, regardless.
Right.
The new thing.
Right. And I mean, if you watch the movie, I mean, the first scene, they're like towing the Sierra either from Fargo to Minnesota or from Minnesota to Fargo, something like that, right? And so and that's the whole point, because he gets stopped by a trooper at some point in the Sierra because his tags aren't showing.
Right.
And,
yes.
And he's like, he tries to bribe the state trooper. He's like, I'm sorry, sir. Is that a bribe? He's like, I just want to be in compliance. And the bad dude takes the gun out and like, he's like, he's like, whoa, daddy. Anyway, watch the movie. Don't listen to me like fuck it up doing this. I just asked the construction guys if they wouldn't swear, right? And here I am dropping F-bombs like crazy.
You did not ask the construction guys not to swear. I don't believe that.
I did. I swear to God. I swear to God. I did.
Were they that bad? I mean, was it that?
No. I'm worse. I'm a lot worse. I'm a much, much worse offender. An American Italian / Polish dude? Are you kidding me? It's like every other word.
No, I didn't know about
the best. Part. Oh, the best. The best. My father had like mostly Italian Masons, but he had 2 or 3 Polish Masons. One guy's name was Hanacek, and he was about 5 foot by about 5 foot. And in World War II, I think he was maybe even a tail gunner, because when I first started, a lot of the guys on the crew were World War II vets, and then it slowly shifted to Vietnam vets, some Korea guys, whatever. But my father always hired vets, which is a good thing. But those guys were tough, man. Holy shit! And they smoked like crazy, just non-filters, one after the other. Like you can't lay a block, you can't lay a brick without having a cigarette out the corner of your mouth. You just can't. It's like, oh, wait a minute, before I lay this brick, like light up, and then they drank straight to the bar right afterwards. I swear to God, almost all of them. Yeah, you'd have like, you'd have like my uncle, who was fought in Sicily, and especially Monte Cassino, where it became like hand-to-hand combat. After they blew it up, they stupidly blew it up. He'd take a shirt off, and there's just cuts and like the purple welts from like stabbing. Guys, Germans stabbing him, and he's stabbing them, and he was one of those guys that was like, I like the war. It was fun. Like, whoa. But anyway, what I was going to say was, these guys, as soon as they retired, they're like, oh, I'm 64 now. I'm going to retire, take my stamps and my pension, and we're going to live life, me and the old lady and all that sort of stuff. They'd be dead within 2 years. Because it would all catch up, and they weren't doing anything physical.
Yeah.
Such a sad thing.
Yeah. Well, my only, I can't say I have any relation to that, but I can say that my surname is still in production in Poland as a brand of both cigarettes and vodka.
You told me that. Yes.
Oh yeah. It's like maybe that might have even been the last time I was on this show. I said something.
It was.
Oh,
you're like Sobieck vodka.
Yeah, it's out there, and neither are very good. But as I understand, it's pretty cheap. So
I'm telling you though, I've had vodka in Russia, I've had vodka in Ukraine, I've had vodka in Moldova, Transnistria, and it is just a different animal. It's a different. It's just like Italy, for instance. I mean, like the best prosecco in Italy, or rather, no, the worst prosecco in Italy is better than our best prosecco in the States, and I'm sure it's the same. Like, so I'm sure if I had some Sobieck vodka in one of those places, I'm sure it was like, wow, this is pretty good, compared to, because I can't drink vodka here plain. I don't drink it at all, actually, but I can't drink it here, because to me it tastes like fucking rubbing alcohol.
Well, that's what the Sobieski brand vodka was in Poland, but the really, really good stuff was called Żabrówka, which has blades of grass in it and a picture of a bison. And I think you can still buy a variant of it here in the States. But yeah, that is very good.
Right.
And it's really hard alcohol. I haven't drank since I got my kidney transplant, but
right.
But before then, I mean, you mix it with apple juice and it tasted like you're drinking apple pie or something like that. But it's fermented,
dangerous,
like type of grass that the European or Eurasian bison used to eat, and
right.
it's great. It's amazing. But you only can find it in Poland because of this certain type of grass that's only available around there. So it's checking out. It's a great holiday beverage. Żabrówka and apple juice.
Żabrówka and apple juice.
Yes.
Wow.
With ice. Very good. Very good.
Or like I could see a commercial for Sobieck vodka. Try Sobieck vodka if you want to get fucked up. Or if you lose a limb, you can also use it to, like, pour it on the what's left of your leg.
Exactly.
It'll keep you from bleeding out. Oh my God. I got a question for you that has to do with now you're the king of Wattpad. You are der Führer of Wattpad. And
no, I'm not the der Führer. Holy
yes,
shit.
you are the Führer of Wattpad, no?
Well, you got the accent wrong. They're not owned by a German company.
Yes, but aren't they Japanese?
No.
No, they're like Korean or something. I don't know, whatever they are. I don't know, just one of those countries we're planning on invading one day, just to make some money, I'm sure.
Well, Canada, so that makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah, they're in our sights too one of these days. Trudeau would be like, "Oh, stop it, stop shooting at us." Like he's Castro's son. He looks just like him. If you look at Pierre Trudeau, is it Pierre Trudeau or is it Justin Trudeau?
No, it's Justin Trudeau. Pierre is the other guy.
Pierre died. He's the guy who wouldn't have sex with his wife to have Justin Trudeau, so she had sex with Fidel Castro. and speaking of toilets, she shit out Justin Trudeau.
Well, I can't say I'm familiar enough with Canadian politics like that, but
I know a little bit of it. But if you look at him, it's I should bring it up, but I can't. You see Castro, you see Fidel Castro, you see it right in him.
Yeah, I said that about Liam Neeson for a while too.
That I did not catch.
For a while, like they overlapped. They looked very similar there for a bit. But
you will be taken.
You will be taken to Cuba.
Right. Daddy, there's a man in our apartment. There's a man in our apartment. I want you to calm down because you will be taken. like you're a lot of help. Click.
Yeah, that guy made.
Oh my God. Yeah. Hey, you know what? If he wants to buy one of our scripts, great. We love you, Liam.
Yes.
I like the guy Sobieck better.
Gosh. Well, what was the question about Wattpad? Sorry.
What? Hey, this is my show. You cut me off? No, I'm
not. No. I'm not cutting you off here. I'm just trying to get the information out. That's
all right. I need to have your solid opinion here because you are the expert at this stuff. Is Vella gonna make it in 2024? I have a feeling they're gonna click off on January 1st.
Well, I don't think it's going to be January 1st. Yeah, well, they hopped on a trend. They were late to the trend in the first place. and really, you have more insight about how it works than I do. But if you're talking about just generally in that space, if you don't have a huge readership behind you that's posting
And they
on social
don't.
media and like being your advocate, then it's really hard to make it, because the part of the appeal of that model is that there's a whole other audience that you can discuss the latest update with. Um, and I guess for anybody not familiar, this is basically serialized fiction. I mean, you put out
Right.
work in installments. Um, so and it kind of it works from the same way with TV shows. I mean, the TV show releases an episode, people talk about it, and then they move on. Not always the case anymore with entire seasons being released, but if you don't have that organic ground game behind you, it's really hard to build up hype for the next installment. So
Right.
Amazon is pretty notorious for just switching things off when it becomes inconvenient. I mean, their brick and mortar stores have started to shut down. They
Yeah.
have been doing real well, like the grocery version. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if it's 2024, but I don't think the model is going anywhere. But I think the model is not has kind of hit peak capacity because of
Right.
everyone who joined, and now it wouldn't be surprising if some players started pulling out,
Right.
and one of them may very well be Amazon. I don't see Wattpad going anywhere. I don't see
No,
like
Wattpad's
no,
solid.
no, they're sticking. They are the center of the universe in that
Yes.
area.
Yeah.
And same with some of their competitors, their direct competitors that followed, like just went in and aped their entire thing.
Now,
But
do you still contribute to Wattpad?
I come and go in spurts. So there was like a year and a half long period where I did nothing but write for
Right.
Wattpad. But that has been turned off, and now I'm just kind of like in a lull period where some things are getting shopped. And I really don't need to work harder than I am right now, which is not
Right.
much. But this is part of the whole like toggling thing, where like if the writing's taking off, I do the writing stuff. If
Right.
it's not, then I have my writing related businesses, and then also a bunch of other businesses that I do. So
Right.
it's and one of the advantages, and this is all I do. It's full time now. I mean, I don't work for an
Right.
employer. I work for myself.
Right.
But the
We love that.
oh what oh well
We
yeah
love that. Work for yourself. There's
well
no
it only took
there's no going back, Ben. There's no going back.
no I love it so much. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not even close.
How
Um,
about that? How about that Monday morning where it's like the thing, the alarm goes off and like you hear outside like the pouring rain, and it's like you're like, oh, I'm so just rolling over for an hour, and like
well,
that's
I
the
gotta
best.
say that would be nice, but I got two kids to get out the door.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, I mean,
so-
you get
so
them out the door, and then you get back to into bed, and like, yeah,
Yeah, well, if she's not watching this, my wife probably suspects it anyway that I will fit in a 16-minute power nap. That is my secret
yeah,
superpower. I can go down for 16 minutes and
right,
come back up like I just got back from the moon or something like that. I mean, it's like
right,
that hard.
yep,
And that came about it working on books late into the night
right.
to get the most time out of it. It was the Writer's Guide to Weapons, that beast of a book I was working on. And
I have it here somewhere.
uh-oh.
I don't know how you put that together, man. I have it here somewhere in my piles of piles of piles. Anyway, hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it. I just want to show it.
Vince is probably showing off his bucket that he's been using instead of a toilet. I guess for the sake of not filling dead air, yeah, if that is one of like 3 writing hacks or productivity hacks that I will really stand behind is doing a power nap. If you can condition yourself to doing that, you are really at an advantage, because you can maximize time and you can go down and hit REM in like 30 seconds and stuff like that. You still need like decent sleep though. I was filling the dead air,
I can hear you. And yes, I since graduate school, since writing school, I've been taking a nap every day when I can. I
Oh
found
yeah.
these though. Remember?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's 10
Ben
years
was
old.
my editor on these.
That's 10 years old now. Good
Can you
Lord.
believe that? Oh my God! How fast the time she flies.
No, that was a good brand, and it was subject to a lot of. See, the problem when you do like you launch a publishing brand inside of a publishing company and it becomes successful is
Right.
that lots of that success gets reallocated off of your P&L, and then management comes back and says, why isn't this, why, how come your numbers don't look good? I mean,
Right.
now that the company's bankrupt, I can say it. I mean, this was a survival magazine that we started inside of an existing publishing company. I was
It
part
was
of the
so much fun.
yeah, and Vince wrote some articles and did some webinars and things like that, and it was awesome. The entire brand did really well, and then we just got a little bit too big for our britches uh, for the sake of a company that was struggling to find dollars wherever it could, and just sucked the life out of it. So,
Right.
as successful as you could be with a newsstand sell-through rate into the 40%, which is like unheard of. The
It
industry
is
average
unheard of.
for magazines like 11 to 12% sell-through on the newsstand. We were killing it. Unfortunately, they took all our money, so
Yeah.
so then we didn't have anything left. So whatever iteration is still out there is usually made with repurposed articles. I mean, they shut the thing down, turned it into an annual, and the annual was made from repurposed articles from other adjacent brands. The editorial budget for the following like 3 years after that magazine officially shut down was $0, and that happens all the time in the magazine industry.
Right.
You have to fill space. You've got a back catalog, and you just plug it with whatever content you can repurpose through either design or editorial massaging. Number one, you don't have to pay the writer again.
Right.
Sorry, but you don't
Yeah. Well,
usually. And number two, it's content that you already own.
right.
So it's stupid that that company went out of business. A bunch of the employees bought the pieces of it at a fire sale and like ran them those brands independently. A lot of them in the outdoors field, and they do it extraordinarily well now that they don't have a corporate overhead hanging over them. But it was like 3 employees came and like saved one of the brands. Another brand I went out with that got bought out by private equity and stuff. But that happens all the time in
Yeah.
publishing. Unfortunately, uh, you only got to do a little bit with that magazine, but it was a kick-ass magazine while it was out.
It
It was
was.
really cool.
I loved it. I loved it. Did you happen to see? This is related. Did you happen to see the one of the recent Joe Rogan podcasts? And he's talking about the rut in November when all the deer finally get to have sex for the year. All the males get to, pretty much. And there was a film from some dude's deer camp. Like one of those places where you pay, exorbitant amount of money to go hunt deer and all that, which is great. But the buck was so, and it was like an 8-point buck. It was a good looking buck. You can get it. I forget who the guest is, but anyway, the deer was so drunk on sex, literally,
Yeah.
that a bow hunter. I've never seen this in my life. A bow hunter actually walked up to it, and no pun intended, but the deer was like a deer caught in the headlamps, and he goes like this to the rack, the deer's rack, with the
That's
with the
really
with the business end of his arrow, and the buck still is just standing there, and he's like saying this is what happens when they get drunk on
wow.
on Mother Nature or whatever, and then finally deer bolts, he got it, and he took off, like I give the guy credit, he could have you know could have taken that deer like from 10 feet.
Um, well, a lot of times I haven't seen the video, but a lot of times they get exhausted. You see that with elk a lot too. Well, basically
Yeah.
any ungulate that's in rut. But they get so exhausted from chasing.
Oh,
Um,
all right.
I mean,
Chase
yeah,
us out.
they're high on hormones and everything, but they
Right.
also like do nothing but run all day, all night for,
Yeah.
weeks at a time. And
Yeah.
they end up, if you're not like actively killing them, then they probably would just stand there.
Right.
I don't. That was one of the brands that we worked on, was deer hunting, and that, I mean, came up all the time. It was like when the rut was going to happen, and rut
Right.
calendars and else. But it's cool. I can't say I would ever want to go out to a rutting animal that's really pissed a lot of
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Uh,
They will
like
charge you.
moose. If you ever seen moose attacks, and those
Right.
things,
They will charge you.
kill you. Like, they are coming to kill you right now, and they're the
Yeah.
size of a rock. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. So there's like, it's like moose versus human.
no, you're gonna lose unless you can get up a tree. That's the only
Yeah.
place the moose isn't gonna get you. You can go in the
Yeah.
water, the moose will still go
Yeah.
after you.
Yeah. Or if you're with one of your buddies, like, you know, what's that saying? Like, you only survive. It depends on how slow your best buddy is, or whatever it is.
Oh yeah,
Like
you gotta be faster than the slowest guy that
yes,
you're with.
yes, yeah. You're only as fast as the slowest guy. That's what it is. Yes. Yeah. See you, Jason. Like, yeah. I'm running away. Run away. Oh my God. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't deer hunted in a long time. I have not. I was never a good deer hunter because you know me. I'm like too itchy, and I'm obnoxious, and I'm loud, and all those things. I play drums, right? It's not like I bring my drum kit out to the forest, but if I could, I would, right? But they'd be like, "All right." Plus, I don't like taking orders. They'd be like, "Vin, you're not pushing this time. You're gonna stand here." And it's a bunch of New Yorkers. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And you hear like you'll be standing there and you hear like bam, 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 bam. You're like, Jesus Christ, like no one like notifies each other where they are.
Of course.
I'm like somebody's gonna get shot. Anyway, but like if I have to stand there for like 2 hours, I'm like pacing back and forth, and I'm like looking at my phone, and I'm doing everything I can for a deer to be like, well, that guy's an idiot. I'm not going anywhere near him. There's a human being right there.
Yeah,
And if the deer come near me, they will be taken.
it will be taken.
Yeah.
No, well, it's definitely not for everybody, but I guess, I mean, you do fly fishing and things like that, but you're constantly moving. You're occupied.
Right.
But deer hunting is definitely a game of patience, and you truly appreciate how resilient these animals are. Is because of how well adapted they are to that environment that they're in, and how not adapted the modern person is to being in that environment too. And I'm not saying some Grizzly Adams out there or anything like that.
I agree.
But it's challenging. I mean, like, turkeys are a dumb animal. Like they are objectively stupid unless you're trying.
You should see some of the women I've dated, dude. Sorry, ladies. I don't mean that in a broad sense of the word. No pun. Oh my God, I'm gonna get so like flagged for this video today. I just know it. I'm actually waiting for the first one. I already got kicked off of Facebook. Did you know that?
I did not know that you got kicked off of Facebook.
Yeah, they say I'm suspended, but they kicked me off.
In what did you do to earn your time out?
I got hacked, I think, and by like I don't know, by like Hot Hannah or something like that. And
wait, you fell for one of those?
No, I don't know. I don't open those. No,
yeah, come on. Like,
I don't ever open those. I don't need to open those. I don't need to open Hot Hannah. I mean, no.
It's
like,
not
why would you even ask that?
The buxom 20-year-old is not interested. Okay.
No, I don't need to. Maybe if I did, say I did, just hypothetically speaking, it would be for book research. I mean, like, I don't. No, that wasn't me. I didn't open up Hot Hannah. No. No.
All right. So you clicked on Hot Hannah and your account got hacked.
Yeah, now I'm hacked, and it's my fault. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I miss it. I don't know if it's taken away from writing books. I don't know. Do you know how to use one of these?
What is that?
It's
A
a
compass?
compass. Yeah.
Yeah. But the viewfinder is really only useful if you're looking at something far away. I mean, people like will hold that stuff up and be like, "I'm navigating to the bathroom," but
I don't know how to use it, but it looks cool.
well, magnetic north moves like a few miles every year, so
Yeah. Well, that I
you
get.
trace that. Now that's
Right.
some interesting stuff.
Well, speaking of pushing when you're deer hunting, because we do it up in the Adirondacks, I've done it in a while, like I said, but this is what I would do through the whole. I don't know what these accoutrements are, is what I'm saying. I know how to use, the business end of it, but all I do is just stare at the compass and just make sure I maintain course, because there's so much space. Otherwise I'm just like, I'm lost. Like I start getting an anxiety attack. So I just make sure I'm on course. That's all I do. So I'm like, this isn't fun. This is not fun. I'm like getting an anxiety attack every 2 seconds here and losing my breath.
Well,
Anyway.
no, drives are not fun, and they're very dangerous right at the end. We used to do that at an airport, believe it or not.
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, well, there was
airport.
This was like where my youth was cauterized into adulthood. Was at an airport in Minnesota, and deer, along with fowl, are really dangerous to airplanes because if they're in the way, they're hard to see. They don't print on radar real well, and they can be dangerous. And this was a small private airport. Or I mean, it was a municipal airport, but it was private planes going in and out, not like commercial like that. So they're like little planes. So if you hit a deer, you're dead. I mean, that's how it is. But they wanted to take care of the deer problem in a way that kind of like served a larger purpose rather than just wanton killing of wildlife. So there was an organization that one of my uncles ran, where we would bring out disabled hunters, disabled veterans, disabled, just outdoor enthusiasts who had suffered an injury or whatever. We'd line them up.
Wow, that must have been really safe. Like,
well,
hey, it's one-armed Eddie with his sawed off.
It was amazing. I mean, you had like a paraplegic blowing in a tube to fire a firearm. You had somebody who was blind kill a deer.
You will be shot.
Well, okay. I mean, like that. I'm like, on the one side, this is really cool because these are people who want to experience that. They get out. They also need help. Like somebody has to dress the deer, and that was like my whole job was to go out and dress like 100 deer.
Hello, deer.
Hello, deer, and then the deer would like drop. But we drives for these guys. So it was like massive though. It was like dozens and dozens of people, and it all converges on one corner, and then like you just like it was bang 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 bang.
Yeah, right.
And you're like, I'm sitting there, I'm like 13 years old, like hiding behind a log because like the call has started. It was one of the most unique things I think I'll ever do, and it happened at a pretty young age. But I think that the drive and shoot thing with hunting.
The drive and shoot thing. I have that on my list to bring up, Ben. Yes. What about the drive and shoot thing? Jesus Christ. Well, honey, stop over the side of the road because I'm gonna drive and shoot.
No. We're driving, like walking through the woods. No. I never did it through the vehicle.
No, I know. I get it. I'm just joking.
I gotta clarify here. We don't shoot for vehicles. Jeez.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it just
they
sounded
shut that
so good.
program down. Now they just hire sharpshooters and helicopters to hover above the runway and kill things, which seems like
Right.
not as cool. Like it's more
Oh,
efficient,
I
but
think that is awesome. That is the kind of a hunt I would love to do. Some of those poor guys were probably like, by the end of it, when the deer were cornered or whatever, they were probably like, "Die, Viet Cong." They're probably having flashbacks. Like, ah.
that, unfortunately, that is kind of how it was. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Blood all over the place and like decapitated deer. This has been a great show. Look, how much did we talk about writing? Zip. Good.
Well, you can always like source hunting experiences into fiction. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I
You
have
know,
I have one book with some hunting in it. I know I do. Where some boy gets shot or something like that. I don't know what it is. I can't remember. I can't remember my
who
own
wrote
fucking
it?
books. Can you? I know. Maybe you wrote it, and I don't know. maybe that's it. I probably ripped it off. Like, oops. Like, you will be taken.
You will be taken.
You will be taken.
Oh.
Daddy, could you send some money too?
Oh.
I don't need to send you money because you're going to be taken. What are you going to do with money?
It's amazing how that guy pivoted into what he is now. It was like a scary actor from Belfast, and now he's like Mr. Action Dad.
yeah, and because wasn't he like he was Schindler, wasn't he? And
he was, oh yeah.
And
he's actor, yes,
yeah, he was like and now he's like on Taken 13.
Yeah, they just keep coming out with Takens, and then
right.
or different versions of Taken.
Oh, yeah.
Like Commuter was one of them. There was a knife company that sourced the knife for that movie. Writing about that one, but that was it was almost exactly like Taken on a train. Like they just keep moving around, like
right.
like Jason eventually goes to Manhattan and then he goes to space.
Right.
They're gonna keep moving around. Like I'm on the International Space Station. I've been taken.
yes. No, the newest one I heard is it takes place in like a mega mart with like his granddaughter, his new granddaughter, and she's like, "Great grandpa, somebody's stealing me, and they just shoved me in the cart." And he's like, "Where are you?" "I'm in produce."
Are you
just
serious?
Calm down. You will be taken. You will be taken out of produce.
I don't know. Is that really a sequel? I would.
Yes, and they will bring you to the butcher aisle.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Sounds like something that would make money though.
You should write that one.
I think I will.
Just like some ham-fisted attempt at an action movie set in a supermarket.
yeah. Taken. The produce edition or something. I don't know. But all right, buddy. I've kept you for too long, and I know you are a busy man, man. You are a busy man. 6 businesses, all these bestsellers. You got the Wattpad thing going. You're writing nonfiction. You're writing fiction. You're like, yay. Maybe there's many of you, and I don't know that. Which one did I get today? The one they took out of, cold storage. I don't know.
The one who cut his hair.
The one who cut his hair. It looks awesome. Where can all these fine people find you who are going to watch this, especially on Substack tomorrow?
If you go to Instagram and you look up Ben Sobieck, there's a link tree on my profile that has everything. That is the best way to figure out all of the stuff I do, because I do about 16 different things.
Yes,
all very independent, and anybody who's going down that independent row has my total respect and admiration, because it is an awesome thing to do for yourself. I think it's very worthwhile. So keep at it. If you are writing and you're trying to make it full time, make something of it. Keep going. You'll do it. You'll get there.
Yep. It's the only way to make a living these days, and to be able to say what you want to say, when you want to say it, how you want to say it. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
See you maybe next month or the month after, something like that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm around.
All right. Unless you are taken
Unless I've been taken in the produce.
in the produce aisle, produce section. All right, brother. I'll catch you later. And everybody else, ciao. Ciao fucking ciao.